Good afternoon, YouTube. So I put the small parts kit, new bearings, springs, and such in the fork assembly for the top cover of SM465. Now I'm going to put the cover on, and I'll just give you a heads up on what that's about. So here we are. We're in neutral. You can tell because I can hold this gear and this gear, and it spins freely. If I engage, everything is locked up. Engage again, same. There we go. So I'm going to bring it into neutral. I'll know that. I'll be able to hold this and turn the input shaft or output shaft, whichever. Okay. Now to set this up, right down in here, there is that gear right there. That's the reverse gear. Okay, so that's the output side, and that's the reverse gear. I'm going to engage it just barely. Okay, so it's just barely engaged. See it turning? It's just barely touching this gear here, just barely touching it. Okay, so in that I have the reverse fork. Here you can see it sitting behind a larger fork, and these are locked in place. If the reverse assembly is moving, that means that these two are locked in. Pushes the ball bearing over and won't let these two locked in. They're in a fixed position. So if this is moving, which it should be able to be moving, I have it just barely engaged. And I'll give you a look at what that is. Okay. Just like this, it just barely, see that? So I'm gonna throw it back. Just barely. And the reason I did that is because when you look at it inside the case, I don't know if you can see that, I'll show you when I put it on. You see the way the keys are lined up. The forks are lined up. So I'm going to put it down on here. Move this. I got the forks front and back. You're in a neutral position. It drops on just like that. I'm going to put just a couple screws in to hold this in place so I can put the shift lever on. I'm not a videographer, nor am I a mechanic. Just a guy who ended up with a K30 in a box, and I'm trying to get it going. Now you see the keys? I got two lined up. That's in neutral. Then you can see the reverse detent little ball there. So cover's on, and I'm just gonna take a bar and snap that in like that. So now I have the two forks and the reverse ball right there. And now to test it out, I'm gonna put the shift lever in the top of it. That's why I put the bolts in. Drop it in, drop it down, fix it out. Okay, so I'm in neutral. Ooh, that's first. This is Granny. Oh yeah, that's 1 to 1. That's 4 for sure. This is 3. And that's reversed. There's no doubt about it. So that cover went on well. And I get everything I need. So that's the magic. You hear a lot of people having trouble with it. That's really the magic. You just set it up so that fork is almost all the way to the back. Slide it up and over so it can cradle into that gear. And then pop it in before you put the shift lever, and you're good to go.